Okay. All right. Tayari Edwards, known in the industry as Groom City, is a master barber, grooming specialist, and creative force hailing from Los Angeles, California. With over 2 decades in the game, Tayari has built a name rooted in precision, professionalism, and passion for the craft. Beyond the barbershop, Groom City has made a powerful impact in the entertainment world, lending his talents to over 30 television shows and movies. His work behind the scenes has kept A-list actors, musicians, and entertainers looking sharp and camera ready on some of Hollywood's biggest sets. Known for his clean aesthetic and ability to blend traditional barbering with modern grooming techniques, Tayari continues to push the culture forward, bridging the gap between barbershop culture and the big screen. Whether he's working one on one with a client or transforming a character's look for a major production, Groom City is always locked in on excellence. Let's please welcome to the show Tayari Edwards, better known as Groom City. What's going on, brother?
Oh no, thank you for having me on your platform. Man, I appreciate it. And I just want to say I've been a big fan of the magazines back in the day.
Okay, okay. I appreciate it.
It was,
Appreciate it.
it was fly. I loved it. I loved
Oh,
everything, and it was high level.
okay. I appreciate it, man. But tell me, how did you first get the opportunity to work on your first TV show or movie?
Um, First TV show or movie, it was interesting. I've been barbering since full time since I've been 19 years old,
Hmm.
and kind of like I guess hit a dead spot, kind of
Hmm.
like plateau or what have you. So I was a little bored, and also I was kind of looking to my future, and
Okay.
I wasn't like I didn't have any 401k, I didn't have any insurance really.
Hmm.
So um, I was at the LA County Fair, and I walked past the sheriff's booth, and
Okay.
and my wife at the time, she was she just got a criminal justice degree, and she was thinking about law enforcement. So she was inquiring, and it was on my head. It was like,
Okay.
I like this and that. They was on me. So
Okay.
I get it. I put my application in, you know what I'm saying, too. So I did my application as well. They didn't hit her back, they hit me back. So
Okay.
I was just like, okay. So I was just like, oh, okay. Well, every time I needed to do something for that process, I wouldn't, my time would be free.
Uh-huh.
So I had tested for a sheriff, and I did really well. So now I'm in background to be a sheriff. And
Okay.
I was just like, okay, the money, the money is right. I think it's gonna pay like 6,000 a month, but you get all your benefits and everything. I was like, dang, this what I prayed for. But I said, I don't want to be no police.
Right.
I mean, I don't mind something new, but I don't want to be the police.
Right.
So, I don't want to go to jail every day. So
Right.
that's what sheriffs do early in their career. So, anyways, I just prayed, and I was like, God, I want to be in film and television. That's what I want to do because
Uh-huh.
I got hip to the industry. Soon I got hip, I was like, I want to do that. So
Okay.
just to go back, I had met this lady at Chuck E. Cheese,
Hmm.
like maybe like while I was in background as a sheriff. And she was just like, I heard about you. She was working in
Mm.
LA. She heard about you. It's crazy. Two wives were speaking about how well their husband Barber cuts their husband's hair and how they liked how I take care of their husband. She said, I thought
Hmm.
that was to hear that from the wives. So
Ah.
name, because my name is unique. So when she met me, she go, that's how I know you. And I was like, what? She was just like, it's this production. I'm starting to work on production, and man, my next project, I want to work with you. And I was like, bet. So she kind of deposit that, like, I wouldn't say put a battery in my back, but just deposit that seed because I was already interested in it, and
Hmm.
that that conversation just had me fantasizing, just had me just my imagination going crazy. So while I'm in background, I'm like, this is not what I want to do. So I pray to God. I want to be in film and television. That's what I want to do. I do not want to be the police, but I do need a transition right now in my career. So what year
Hmm.
would this be? This was probably this 2012. So mind you, I'm 6, 7 days a week in the barbershop since 1999. So
Okay.
2012, burnout. I was burnt out, bored, everything. So,
Right.
anyways, get a call. She was like, "Hey, we start." It was like 2 days. We start on Monday. I think it was like Friday night. We start on Monday. I'm gonna send you the script, and you're
Hmm.
on. What? This was probably like 2 days after that prayer, maybe the next day.
Wow. Wow.
God was listening to me. So, anyways, I was geeked. Woke up Monday, went up there dumb early. It's 5:12 fall time. In
Hmm.
LA, an hour east of LA, maybe 45 minutes to an hour east of LA. So I
Okay.
arrived, yeah, and that end of story. So that project was called Supremacy, and it was a
Okay.
film produced by Dion Taylor and the Hidden Empire company. So to this
Hmm.
day, I cut Dion Taylor like once a week, if not more than once a week. But to this day, I cut him once a week. I done been out the country. Soon I come back. T, when you back? Very loyal client. And yeah, I
Hmm.
got my start with Hidden Empire, Dion Taylor specifically, and it was an amazing
Wow.
experience. Danny
Wow.
Glover, Eric Luke on that project, and
Okay.
had a lot of ups and downs trying to get into the film hair and makeup union.
Uh-huh.
I downs because that was an independent project, so I was able to work it.
Okay.
Um,
Okay.
be honest, it actually flipped. And flip means that it went from being non-union to union. So now I
Okay.
did get paid. So you need 30 union days to get in the union, but you need to be in the union to work on a union project. So it's a straight up
Right.
catch 20. So
Right.
anyways,
Oh, trust me, I know.
that project flipped, and it wasn't 30 days. I think it was like maybe 20 some days, but I didn't have a cosmetology license, and that's a requirement. In our union, 706, they don't recognize a barber license as the one of the requirements. So now I had to go to cosmetology school. So the journey began to try to get into the union. So now I immediately roll into cosmetology school. I get my cosmetology license. I done
Hmm.
gang of questions, but that's how
Nah, nah. This is very
that's
interesting.
that's how
So,
I got my start. Yeah, so it started. It just started a whole journey. You know.
okay. Well, first, tell me. You said some ladies were talking about their husband's barber, and you happen to be the barber.
Yeah,
And one of the ladies was doing a production.
yeah. Well, she was a hairstylist, and she also was at that time she was Dion Taylor's person to oversee
Ah,
her department, the makeup department. So
wow.
we
See
on.
that's something that our listeners should know, that just sometimes you can just be in the right place at the right time. So you always have to be ready.
Yeah,
You know what
and
I mean?
cheese
And
like at a
yeah.
Fixer. What it was at Chuck E. Cheese at a little kids, a friend of the from the church, a little kid from the church, and
Uh-huh.
yeah, so yeah,
Wow. Okay. So what was the biggest adjustment going from the barbershop to working on set?
everything, everything.
Yeah. Okay.
It was protocol,
Okay.
protocol um, having
Yeah.
a schedule, um, being on time, and I'm
Okay.
not talking about tardiness, just keeping up with the pace of the way film and production is, but also just knowing how it's working, like knowing how to read a call sheet and
Hmm.
just being aware of the process of how film and television is being made. You have to know that process to be, in my opinion, all this is my opinion, but you have to know that process to be successful. Because if not, you're just there. Like, okay, you got a good skill, you got a high skill barber.
Mm-hmm.
Like, do you know how film and television's ran? Because then you'll know how to play your part. And
Right.
I didn't know, I'm new. So, and if you're not really hip to it and someone's not really teaching you, it's not really something you could just pick up like that. It's really not to learn
Okay.
caution and know what's going on and yeah, it's just not. It's just not. But you
Hmm.
will get it because you got to get it. When
Right.
that's the biggest transition. That's a whole different world, and it's not a barber's world. It's not
Uh,
a barber's world. Um,
okay. Did you
it,
have a mentor who might have could have helped you a little bit, or was in that world is like everybody out for themselves?
I wouldn't say everybody's out for themselves. I would say you got communities, you got tribes, and if you're
Hmm.
outside of a community or if you're outside of tribes, then that's what it is. I'm pretty sure we all know when certain tribes they move in a certain way, certain communities move a certain way. When you're outside of that, you're just outside of that. You just got
Right.
what you got, you know, and
Okay.
on your tribe until you till somebody endorses you, till somebody advocates for you and just pull you in. You got to work with what you got, you know.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Was there a moment when you realized, okay, I really belong here, or did that happen right away?
Um, I felt like I belonged from day zero. To be honest with you,
Okay.
like an ego thing or nothing like that. It's because it's something I prayed for and then it happened. So I'm like,
Hmm.
belong here, you know. Now the
Okay.
journey is going. I'm knowing it's going to be it's a whole different world. And
Hmm.
you feel like I've done some international traveling, and I felt like that. I felt like where I'm in a place I don't know the language. Everyone everyone is, they might be different type of culture, but everybody is from that country and they speak the language. They're moving. They know what they're doing, and I'm just sitting up there with my Google Translate, trying trying to make do. That's how I
Right.
entering into, especially large productions early on. I just felt
Okay.
like a tourist, but not a tourist. I would say I just felt like somebody just traveled to a new country. I don't
Mm.
know the language, trying to peep it out. You kind of work what you got, especially if you go to some Latin countries. But for the most,
Right.
just you need some help. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Right.
That's the best analogy I can use.
Okay.
I belong. I feel like I belong, but I don't know the culture and I don't know the language right now.
Okay. Okay. Well, obviously, when you're a barber in a barber shop, you have your schedule for the day. You're cutting clients maybe 30, maybe 15 minutes. How does cutting hair on set differ from cutting hair on a barbershop? Just say you had the same client you would cut in a barbershop, but then that same client is an actor in a movie. What would the difference be?
It's not really. I'm not asking them, hey, how would you like your haircut? I'm not asking them anything. I done prepared already, so I'm knowing how to. What is the look right now? What is his character, and I'm trying to match it on whatever scene we're about to shoot. So
Okay.
I'm more so referring to my department head, or if I am department head, I'm also referring to like or director notes or whatever. But at the end of the day, is I gotta create a character and it's gotta match whatever the scene requires, you know. And
Okay.
that and if we already have shot some of that scene, then I'm looking at my continuity photos and trying to match
Mm,
because where it's a continuation from something that was already shot. So I'm more so following that. I'm not referring to the actor on what are we doing for his look. I'm making sure he's comfortable. Um, Probably not even bothering him because usually they'll be going over their lines.
hmm.
So I don't even like really like bothering him. You know what I'm saying? He has a job to do, or she has a job to do, and I have a job to do, and we all have. It's like
Okay.
all of it all together. to create one big art piece of art.
Okay.
You know,
Okay.
everybody, yeah, everybody playing their part. You know,
Oh, mm-hmm.
to the
That's
person,
very
you know, in breakfast orders. You know, everybody's playing their part.
okay. That's very interesting because younger barbers they think, oh, I want to work in movies and TV. They think they're just going to cut the hair and that's going to be it. But you talk about things like continuity photos, preparing the actor for a specific scene. That's stuff that they don't think about. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. Because here you are doing the just say the scene before. You know, it was like I don't know, a graduation scene or something, and everybody's looking all neat and sharp. But this coming up scene is where he gets chased in the bushes, and they're all, you know, he's disheveled. You know,
Right,
here you are putting a polished cut. It doesn't match the scene. It's
right, right.
a lot going on. It you know, you got to help tell stories with the hair. That's what we're doing. And
Okay.
yeah, if you're not following the story, then what you doing? You know.
Right, right. Well, how do you deal with the pressure of working on a tight filming schedule? Because let me tell you a little story. I worked on a movie a while ago, and I'll never forget it. I had been cutting the actor for previous scenes, and he loved it. But this particular scene, we were behind schedule, and it's crazy when I think about it. But they had me cutting him while he was getting makeup on.
Hmm.
Okay. And I couldn't figure out why my trimmers were not getting that sharp line that I used to get. You know, the makeup was blocking that sharp line. So tell me, have you ever had a situation that, you might have learned a lesson doing something on set? And how do you deal with that pressure of working a tight filming schedule?
Yeah, I actually work well under pressure, to be honest with you. So, um, yeah, I don't know. I work well under pressure. If if I don't know what I'm doing, or if I'm not, I don't have instructions, and of course that's when I have challenges. If I don't have all the right instructions, but for the most part,
Okay.
pressure. But I would say the way I handle the pressure is you just got to get it done. Just got to use your instincts and everything. And I've been in a situation where it's tag teaming. I'm tag teaming because they might be behind and stuff like that. And at the end of the day,
Okay.
you just got to bag back off the precision barbering, like bag back off of that, and then
Mm-hmm.
see how it's going to read on camera. So then you can put your energy and effort to other things to help it read how you want it to look. You know. But if
Mm-hmm.
you like laser focus on something, on one thing, because we're all artists, you telling the story, you know, and you got to see how it's reading on camera. It probably reading super sharp, super precise, but maybe
Right.
you got to reduce the volume somewhere because the silhouette of it is not reading like how you would want. So focus on the silhouette. You ain't got to focus on the other one because it's reading super sharp. So you can bag back off of precision and now focus on other things so you can get that silhouette that you're looking for or whatever angle, you know. So
Oh, okay.
I can explain how I
All
work.
right. Okay. Well, what kind of communication happens between you and the directors or the wardrobe team when you're creating a character's look?
The director, um, sometimes they have very specific um, requests that they would like for the character. And
Okay.
you have to try your best to meet that need, you know.
Mm.
and and on time and with a budget. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
a wig, and you know I budgeted for that, and you just gotta make it happen. Sometimes it's just light notes, you know,
Okay.
kind of conversation. Sometimes they'll come into the trailer. and add their input. Sometimes you might take pictures and send it, and that look got to get approved. So it might
Hmm.
be people that's a part of that approval process on they want approved for a TV show or film, and then it'll get approved, or they might they don't tone down this, and then so it's just it's just basically taking instructions, trying to meet those needs of those instructions, sending it.
Hmm.
Hopefully it gets its approval, and then you're good.
Okay. Have you ever had to completely change your character's hairstyle at the last minute?
I'm trying to think. Pretty sure I have. I can't think up off bat, but I had to make some last minute changes for sure. I mean, run,
Okay.
you grabbing something you know what I'm saying, you didn't need for that particular change. I know
Okay.
it was something recently. I'm currently my last project was Papa's House with the Wayans,
Oh,
Damon
okay.
Senior. And I think it was
Okay.
something we had to run back. I think it was for the wig episode. It was maybe
Uh,
like that. They're usually minor, but I can't think of them. I'm pretty sure I have. I just can't think right now of some type of major adjustment where it's like completely
okay.
no.
Okay. Tell me, what's one of the proudest looks you've created for a character?
Proudest looks I created for character. Probably on Umbrella Academy.
Ah, okay. One of my favorites.
Yeah, yeah. So it's probably the guys on all the guys on Umbrella Academy. I did season 3. Was it
Oh,
season? Yeah, I did season 3.
okay.
Probably all the guys looks on there.
Hmm. That's excellent. Excellent. That's literally one of my favorite shows. What's who are some of the biggest names you've worked with?
Biggest names I worked with, Lakeith Stanfield,
Okay.
a big fan of Lakeith.
Damon Wayans.
Damon Wayans, senior. Uh,
Okay. You cut him and his son?
no, I don't cut his son. Just
O-
senior.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, I work with um. I don't know why I'm going blank headed
So
right now.
you got so many, it's hard to think. Okay. Well, tell me this: do you have any funny or memorable stories working with a celebrity?
Well, I'm currently working with Drewski. So I've been working with Drewski since I cut him on Grownish.
Okay.
Yeah, so
Oh,
it's
I
hilarious. He's fun to work with, and yeah, they were on. Remember on Thanksgiving, him and Kai and Kevin Hart
yeah, yeah, yeah.
that show.
Oh, okay, okay.
I was thrown off, but it was just funny though. Just to Drewski FaceTime and see Kevin Hart, and they going in on his thin mustache.
Right, right.
So yeah,
Okay.
it's always funny moments with Drewski. Like one of the I don't know. It's just cool guy, cool to
He's a
be.
funny guy. Okay.
A
Is well, tell me, did any actor ever surprise you about how chill or down to earth they were?
Um,
Like
they
some.
all kind of chill and down to earth. I would say
Okay.
I'll probably say Lakeith. Lakeith is chill and down to earth, down to earth. They all that I've worked with, they all
Okay.
chilling. But I'll
Okay.
say like I'll probably say Lakeith like cool, cool.
Okay.
I'm like fans of the game, fans of the artist, fans of even behind.
Right.
I'm such a fan of everybody that I just be just soaking up the experience.
Right. Right. Okay. Tell me, have you ever had to fix another barber's work on set? You don't got to say the barber's name, but you know.
I've definitely had to come through, and it's usually the actor. As far as my experience, where
Mm-hmm.
yeah, the fade wasn't, but his fade was off. So
Had a line of demarcation still in it.
yeah, yeah, and yeah, and it didn't. Yeah, so I come
Oh,
through and fix. so it can match the character. And
Hmm.
coach, we gonna have things precise. So we're not gonna walk around with an offbeat fade. So it's
Right,
gonna be
right.
character with you. So yeah, I had to come through and fix some fades for sure. There's fades, a lot of fades
Oh
that I
wow, a lot. Damn.
yeah. No, not like it's been more than a handful of times
Oh
that I
wow,
yeah.
wow. See that
Because
that.
career, not to cut you off, but early in my career, um, it's a lot more barbers. I've seen it fast. There's a lot more barbers in the union than it is when I first started. I only been in the union for 8 years. So in my
Okay.
early two, you had a lot of projects going on, and you got a lot of different characters and stories being told, and you didn't have people that have the skill set for the
Mm,
different looks of the characters. So sometimes a person might be working with that hair texture and that particular look, and
mhm.
maybe they're not skilled to do it. So
Okay.
and now
Okay.
now we barbers and they're meeting those needs in our union suit. So it's pretty dope to see.
Okay. Well, we're gonna play a little game.
What's up?
You've done over 30 TVs and movies. So I'm gonna name a TV or movie that you've done, and you're gonna tell me who you cut, when, what kind of cut did they get, and how was that experience?
Right.
So let's start with my one of my top favorite TV shows, The Upshaws.
The
Who did
Upshaws.
yeah,
I work with Mike Epps on there. I was covering Conrad Hilton, one of the dopest barbers in our union, and I was covering him. Um,
okay.
Mike Epps was one of the actors I cut on there. So
Okay. What kind of cut did he get?
he got it was like a taper with like a little curly top taper, kind of like a yeah, kind of like I wouldn't say Afro taper, but like a short curly taper.
Okay. All right.
Yeah,
All right. Next one. Bel Air. Who would you
Bel
cut?
Air. I cut Jeffrey, the
Ah,
butler. I cut uh, Uncle Phil, and I
okay.
also Phil was Jabari. I cut Jabari. I cut Jazz.
Oh
This was
wow.
from season two. Season
Okay.
two, I cut Jazz, um, um, Uncle Phil, and Jeffrey.
Okay.
Yeah, who those are people. I did season one, season two, but season one I didn't cut Will or Jazz.
Okay. Okay. All right. Black Panther, Wakanda Forever. Who'd you
I was
cut?
reshoots, so I did reshoots on there. So I
Okay.
just just helping the department out for those two
Okay.
weeks.
Okay. All right. And you said the Umbrella Academy, you did everybody, all the males, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Except
Wow.
for except for Tom. I forget his character name. Except for him, it was like two, and five. I didn't do five.
Okay. Okay. All right. And what about Top Gun?
Top Gun, I did reshoots.
Okay.
So a week. That was a dope experience. Quick story. So did reshoots. I had to get clearance because they shot on a Navy base, a
Uh,
naval base, in San Diego. So
okay.
I had my information, and then once it passed background, I got clearance. So
Oh,
I went down.
wow.
So down there, I'm like, dang, I'm fresh in the union, brand new,
Uh,
like probably
uh-huh.
my second job. So I'm like, oh, this is a big project. Like, even though it was reshoots, I'm like, this is a big project.
Right.
So
Right.
trailer, and I see this guy come through, and he has a hat on. He just being nice to everybody, super kind to everybody, right? So
Mm-hmm.
then we leave out the trailer, and then we're going to the transport van to head to set. So the same guy is helping everybody up asking
Mm,
everybody their name, but just being kind.
mm-hmm.
So he helps me up, and he goes, "What's your name?" I told him Tiare. I looked, it was Tom Cruise.
Wow.
So
That's
so I'm
crazy.
like he been here this whole time, just being kind, just helping out.
Wow.
Time I seen him, he would say, "Hey, how's it going, TR?" Every single time. Like I'm talking about every time I pass him. But I'm not saying he only did that to me. He did. I seen him do that with everyone. But every
Right.
single time he would acknowledge me. And one time he was talking to, I think it was Jerry Bruckheimer. They're having a conversation. He interrupted the conversation. Was like, "Hey, how's it going, TR?" Shook my hand and then kept talking. Man, I thought
Wow.
thing that I've seen, like even to this day, I've never seen someone acknowledge everyone, everyone,
Right.
everyone,
Right.
everyone. Now I've been there 2 weeks, but he was man. I've never seen nobody like nobody on set um, being that kind and acknowledge everybody. So
Wow.
yeah, shout out to Tom Cruise.
Man, that's incredible. That's incredible. And then my favorite show of all time, Insecure. Who'd you cut?
I I came through there and cut
Okay.
Jadena
What
episode.
what
I forget what it was. This
oh,
early in my career, I worked that one episode. I forget.
okay. Okay.
Yeah,
I gotta look up what it was a he or a she?
Jadena was
Jadena.
did Classic Man.
Oh yeah, yeah. I remember that. Okay. Wow.
But
Okay. Okay.
I love that show.
Yeah,
That
man. That's man. I wish they'd bring that show back. I love it. I love it.
was crazy.
So,
I could have worked on. I forget what season. Department head hit me, but I wasn't in the union, and
oh wow.
get me in, but it didn't work out. But yeah, it's a lot of projects that I wasn't in the union because I got my first job 2012. I got in the union in 2018. So those
Wow.
years was like that. I was about to go into that earlier, but it was a lot of like blood, sweat, and tears. Getting
Yeah.
close. So
Yeah.
it's like, so yeah, my kids getting older. I'm still not in the union. It was a journey. So it's a lot of projects that people was hearing about my name and want me to be a part of, but just wasn't in the
Right.
union. I
Well,
ended up getting a show called AJ and the Queen, and yeah,
okay.
that was
So to get in the union, it's not a cut and dry thing. You don't just get in the union, do a couple of product projects, and then you're in, right? It's like, can you tell me, at least for your experience, how difficult it was? Because it seemed like you would have had enough experience, but how does that work for those who don't know?
yeah, it's experience helps you out, but it's not you gotta meet the criteria. And like I said earlier, that's 30 union days.
Okay.
Um, to get a union day, you have to be in the union to work on a union project to get a union day. So it's like a catch 20.
Wow. So how in the
Union,
world could you get in a union if you got to get a union day, but you're not in a union? So how can you do that? I mean, I know
um,
that they when they flip it, an independent film.
yeah, the ways I was, what I'm saying, no is when a non-union film or TV
Mhm.
show or whatever, it flips to union. Well, whoever attached to the project working, they flip with the project. So then now your days are now union days. That's one way.
Oh,
Other thing called star request, and I think you have to have 3 productions already with that star and show that proof to be a star request. And then I think it's like a day to day, and I think you need more days on a star request. I don't know if it's 30 days with star request. Then they got 60, 60, 60, where you have 60 days on a non-union project for three
mhm.
years. I think you have 5 years to do it. So basically, you have 180 non-union work days within 5 year period, and I think you can turn those in, and then once they confirm that they're all the days, then you're
Mhm.
able invited to join the union. And then it's
Wow.
also flip on that 30. And then they have one other thing, a special skills waiver. And that's when there's no one in the union available to work that has the skill needed for the particular project. So
Hmm.
they end up outsourcing it to someone outside the union, and they're able to work it by getting a waiver so they can meet the needs of the production, or the project, or whatever. And
Okay.
yeah, so
Okay.
yes, those are the ways that I'm aware. I don't know if they're the same now, but those are the ways when I
Okay.
was uh, doing that 2012 to 2018. When I was doing that, I
Yeah.
was those ways you can join the union, which kind of breaks that catch 22. And
Right.
I ended up getting a special skills waiver because I had to fix a fade. I fixed
Okay.
that fade. I got approved that one day. Every day they had to that they needed the character to have a fade. Every day they had to reach out to the union, see who's available that has that skill, call them, see if they were to take the project. Soon they say no, then I was able to work it. That was the process. And they had to do that for every single day to get the day approved. So
Wow. Wait, wait,
so
wait.
I
So, what kind of fade was it?
it was on a
Was it
straight hair client, it was
okay?
on a straight Latin guy, and he just was really particular with his fade, and the person that did the fade was a hairstylist, so
Mm,
it didn't have barbering precision to it. It
right.
had that more that like it was a graduated look or whatever. But since he wanted so close on the sides, the hairstylist wasn't able to produce that barbering precision.
Okay.
So
So
I had
he,
the skill barber, and I had my cosmetology license by then, so I was able to, I had everything needed, so I was able to come with that special skill of a barber
yeah,
and put the
you hit him with the clipper comb or the shear comb technique. I know, right?
I did it all. I went to the clippers, clipper over comb, then did some shear work on the top, and
Hmm.
yeah, styled his hair because it was straight hair, and yeah, yeah,
That's
and I forget,
beautiful.
wish I would forgive me, but I forget the actor's name, but really cool
Oh,
guy, and yeah, and he advocated for me as an actor, and then the department had advocated for me, and then the the UPM advocated for me too, so they can maintain the continuity of the show. The
hmm.
actors with me, and yeah, and the department had like work with me, so it was cool.
Oh, wow. Well, when you were told the first time you were told you had to fix the fade, and you knew that your union life depended on this, were you nervous or were you like, man, I've done this a million times. This ain't gonna be no problem.
I was kind of just numb already to like the whole I'm getting into the union. So I actually, the way I was approached, I met her on long story, but anyways, I met her on a project that I was supposed to get my union days and didn't. So
Okay.
I hit a real low spot. And
Okay.
she said, Jerry, she said, I like the way the actors are when they leave your chair. She's like, I like the way they are. Like I can see them get into character. I just like the whole rapport. I like that. She's like, I want to work with you. Now I would hear that all the time, and
Hmm.
project, and it was union, and the way they had me cut, I just didn't like the setup. So anyway, um, soon as they wrapped, she reached out to me.
Okay.
Hey, um, working on this not soon as they wrapped, but she was just like, hey, I started this project, and I need your help. And it was just supposed to pay me invoice. just invoice what's your day rate and just invoice. So
Okay.
and fix the fade, and then she was just like, okay, and then I invoiced, and then they used me 2 or 3 more times, and then she said, can you send me an invoice for all 3 days, or resend me an invoice for all 3 days, and
Okay.
and I said okay, and when I sent the invoice, she was like, I seen it. I like her whole vibe. She was just like, well, you got 3 days. I, you got those days approved. You have 3 days. So then they pay me with a check, like as an employee versus my invoice. And I was
Uh,
just so happy because I'm like, well, I got 3 days, 3 union days. I didn't care about the money. I didn't care.
right.
It was money. It was about my opportunity to get into a union.
Right.
It was a whole bunch of stuff, but money was zero. I worked a lot of projects where I was getting paid. My gas, I was clearing off my schedule. I was losing money, losing money.
Mm,
You know,
right.
$25. I did a lot of projects where that's what I would make, but then my fuel, then my time, and then how many clients I'm cutting to go do that, cutting off, and yeah, I done lost money from 2012 to 2018. I lost money
Wow.
big
Wow.
time. Yeah, so that's what made the 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 journey to the union made it difficult because I'm raising a family. Um,
Hmm.
those needs are changing, and it's like I'm spending money in school, spend money for college school, and every time I'm on a project, it's underpaying me for what I'm making at the barbershop. And
Right.
my city, I did, my city, I built my name up. I was charging. I wish I still had my style seat, but I was charging $100 a cut.
Okay.
That was
Wow.
cutting beard. Beard was $100. Yeah.
Okay. Man.
I lost I lost money during that time, and I
Right.
purposely
Right.
set my price at 100 for cutting beard because I was chasing that. So I got tired of telling people no. So I said I'm gonna let my price tell them no, and the price
Okay.
really that's what was the crazy thing. Of course my client retention dropped, but it didn't
Mhm.
drop as much. It didn't drop as much as I need. So I'd be like leaving set, running to the shop, cutting people all type of hours, just making it happen. But yeah, when I put it $100, and I think the haircut I had it at 60. This is
Okay.
2012, 20,
Wow. Damn.
20.
20.
I had it was more. I wish I had my style seat because I kind of forget. I think I got up to 100, then 150 for the cut beard. I got look because I just called them. I just called them $1 billion cut and $1 million cut. That's what I had. Yeah, I just had
Wow.
on my you book, and it will have some bookings. I was like, dang, I put my schedule and it will have bookings. I'm like, I should have been did this.
Right. Right. Damn.
So that hit me out. But yeah, so it's like I was losing money. So imagine I when I would cancel my clients, I'm canceling those clients on my style sheet because something
Right.
with how they
Okay.
moving. Oh
Do
yeah,
you
it was yeah.
damn? Do you still cut in the shop, or you strictly union stuff?
Strictly union, house calls, and cut out my house.
Okay.
So yeah,
Oh,
I've been so long. My clients is a lot of my clients is like my family friends, like family type friends. So
okay.
it pull up to the house, and get cut and yeah, all day we chop it. So yeah, it's crazy like the kind of clientele I had from way back when. Those are the clients supporting my high price tag. Clients that we basically
Wow.
grew. It's some
Right.
clients we had talked. They're like, I'm about to be 45, and some clients I'm thinking I'm way older than them, and they like, I'm about to be 43. I'm about to be 42. I'm like, man, cutting you was in high school, and I'm 19. You was in high school, and I'm like, we're not even that far apart, but it just seemed like a big gap all the time. I'm 20,
Right.
17. Now they like 41, 40. I got a bunch of my clients that support me to this day. I was cutting
Okay.
them when I was 21. They was under me when I don't know, in my 20s. Those are my clients that support, and they all
Okay.
I love, like, they all doing well. I learned a
Right.
lot from them, like, and they support me. Like the whole time they like, dang, T, you gonna be gone. You going out the country. You going out of town. You gonna be gone. As soon as you get back, we got you. And they just been supporting me the whole way, even when I'm dissing them. Like my clients,
Um,
I have a history of dissing them for years. They
wow.
never, they've been, that's been my support group. Like that's who bigs me up. It's my,
Right. Man, that's a good clientele, boy. Well, tell me where we can find you if we can get on your schedule.
oh
Uh,
man, you can hit DM me on my Instagram at Groom City.
okay.
Um, I share my phone number. And yeah, text
Okay.
message or DM, and then I'll pull up and tighten you up. You know,
Got you. Got you. Hey man, I really appreciate this, man. You dropped some good knowledge on me with my journey trying to get into the union. You know what I'm saying? So thank you so much for that knowledge, brother.
appreciate it, man. So yeah, man, thank you for having me on this platform. And man, I wish you the best, and definitely like I wish you the best on the union journey. I get it. You know what's crazy? When if you ask, well, speak for myself, I would ask like 10 different people how to get in the union. You get 10 different answers. You'd be surprised. So it's
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
some of those time frames are short, some of those time frames are long, but they're all
Yeah.
unique. Know that your journey is unique, and it's
Yep.
gonna be unique.
But
Happen when you get close.
you want to hear something crazy though, man? I could have gotten a union so easily, but all right, let me explain. I worked on this independent film. The union rep was having a meeting after we stopped shooting. So
Hmm.
it was just a regular meeting, and it was pouring down rain, and I had to pick up my son from school. So I told the makeup lady, I said, hey, if it's an important meeting, call me back and I'll turn around and I'll pick up my son later. She didn't call me, and that union rep signed up everybody for the union right then and there. And
What union?
and
Seven.
this was the ATL union, so I'm
Yeah,
not
that's
sure
seven.
when.
It's local 798.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So I was like, damn, if I would have just went to that meeting, I would have been in it. You know what I'm saying? And this
Yeah.
was shoot, this was like 10 years ago. And I'm still trying, but it's all good. It's all good. But yeah, I appreciate you, man.
You're based out of Atlanta right now?
Yeah.
Okay, okay. Yeah.
Yes,
If I
sir.
hear, if I hear anything, there's people I know out there, I definitely, reach out. I know the industry's changed a lot, but
Okay.
yeah, definitely, because I already know you thorough, thorough barber,
Yes,
and
sir. Yes, sir. I appreciate you, man.
definitely, definitely.
Oh, all right. Well, you take care, man. Thanks again, and much continued success, brother.
Likewise, likewise. All right, family.
All
All
right.
right.